I completed the 100 heads challenge for a second time in 10 days straight. It was unbelievably tiring. There was a lot to fit in that video to get it under 30 minutes. So it's very fast paced. Today we're taking things a little bit slower and having a proper look in the sketchbook tour. This sketchbook cover is really pretty, but it's actually just a Royal Talens art creation sketchbooks, but it has white pages, which is nice. Honestly though, it was probably more expensive than I would have liked. Like, the paper is not good, but it's pretty. And this is actually the same sketchbook that I did Peachtober in. Little sneak peek there. If you want to see that entire sketchbook tour, that is in the playlist down below. It was a really fun art challenge. Oh, this was a video too. And then we're straight into the 100 heads challenge. I completed the challenge in 10 days straight, so it's the 4th to the 13th of April, which is a much faster turnaround than a lot of my videos. And I wanted to start off with a title. This is something I always do. I feel like it breaks down the sketchbook a little bit better, kind of like in chapters. And usually I do an end page, but I didn't feel like it was needed this time, but we'll see that when we get there. So this is just acrylic marker. Technically it's my 3rd 100 heads, but this is the 2nd one in 10 days. So I popped that down there. And this is day 1. I decided to use a different medium for each day, so that each day had a theme, a slightly different art style, and honestly it was really fun. So for this day I used mechanical pencils. We've got Billie Eilish, Jensen Ackles, Ed Sheeran, Robert Downey Jr. So of course these are all celebrities, and they were all requested by you guys. Funnily enough, this is actually like the 9th time that I've drawn Billie Eilish. So I decided to start with her. I feel pretty confident drawing Billie Eilish now. Well, confident is a strong word, but I feel comfortable. I drew her 7 times when I was trying to figure out my art style. Then I also painted her Met Gala look. I don't know, she just has such a cool style, and I think that really looks like her. I really don't have much experience drawing men. You guys really threw me off with these requests because over half of them were men. I think this one turned out pretty cute. I'm not sure it looks like him. I think Ed Sheeran does actually look like Ed Sheeran, kind of. Glasses are very difficult to draw. It's like you have to get the face perfect and then cover it up. It makes no sense. Robert Downey Jr. looks like Malfoy. Like, do you see that? It's too cute. I think the face needs to be a lot longer, and I popped day 1 here. Then we continue because we need to do 10 every day. I can kind of see the resemblance, but I would have liked it to look a little bit more like her. We only had like 20 minutes, so I'm happy with it regardless because I think you can kind of tell. Olivia Rodrigo, you can't tell. It was a really difficult angle, this one. I had to give up and move on. 20 minutes had passed. I knew that I wouldn't be able to do much more with it in the time that I had, so we had to move on. On to George Clooney, who looks like the old man in Up. Don't really know how that happened. One of the eyes is bigger than the other. You'll see that a lot in my sketchbooks. It's really difficult to make the eyes exactly the same. Sam Elliott. Again, I was playing with trying to leave a lot of the hair white. You don't really have time for clothes and hair. If you don't know, the 100 Heads Challenge was created by Ahmed Al-Douri. You draw 10 heads a day for 10 days straight, equaling 100. And the aim is that you become more comfortable drawing people. So you just don't have time for the extra stuff. I was focusing on the face. On to Jeff Bridges. He's missing some of his head. I like the top half, that's pretty cool. The bottom half is not too bad, but when you combine them together, do you see how that is bigger than that? I know that he's supposed to be on half a page, but I didn't want to keep going further down and go into that other celebrity. I absolutely love this. I love the way that the hair is very minimalist. I think she's the best one, and it's very rare that you end a day with the best one. So maybe warming up worked. Moving on to day 2. This is Kurt Cobain. I absolutely love this color. It's literally just a thin brush pen. I'd never used it before. I haven't used anything like this and tried to draw with it, but this was a lot of fun. Since I wasn't able to make the color any lighter, in order to get shading, I had to do all of these lines. Couldn't really think of any other ideas. So then I moved on to Peter Capaldi. This was a difficult pose. It was like, it was very hard. And I think it was him as the Doctor. But I kind of see the resemblance, even if it is a little bit creepy. Down here is actually a pen from a different set. This one is really light in comparison, and I just couldn't get any darker tones. Also, I smudged it here. It was completely dry, but I think my hand was a bit warm and it kind of reactivated a little bit. Moving on, Will Smith. I am really really happy with this one. Like, it actually looks like him. Did not expect that, didn't see that coming at all. Kind of built up my confidence there. Moving on to Benedict Cumberbatch. This was a little bit too big. It was bigger than I was planning. You can probably tell by the fact that the hair isn't really in and the ear is out. Crazy up here and this one's kind of down. Like the color, love this color. This is Anaria. I've not actually listened to their music, but I love the whole look. This was a difficult pose as well. But with this challenge, I do think it's important to try and draw faces at weird angles, do some side profiles, really try and challenge yourself. For this one, I tried to do it without the lines, and I do think that the lines work better. Again, added a lot more lines to try and get that shadow. Try and get some mid-tones by literally doing like 2 lines. It's a crazy style, but it kind of works. Chadwick is looking a little bit creepy. The eyes are too big. I tried to shrink them and add shadow, but it didn't work. He's got a lovely smiley face though, but unfortunately mine just looks a little bit creepy. It's a combination of the teeth and the eyes. Mads Mikkelsen. This one really surprised me. It's a side profile. They are horrific. They are so difficult. But I think this really works. Maybe he just does a really recognizable side profile. And ending the second day with Perry Edwards. I love seeing her without foundation on because she has so many lovely freckles. And that's what I wanted to draw. Did something a little different. Added some circles for highlights. This is actually something I want to explore when I create my own coloring book. That is now in the works. And I'm really excited about it. Moving on to day 3. There, I wrote it down. This is Lady Gaga, but it does not look like Lady Gaga. We're using fine liner. This one was a bullet tip and that one was a brush, and then I kind of experimented to figure out what I liked. So they are all slightly different. This didn't really go great because it took so much longer. Then you have to factor in like how to add the paint and how long it will take to dry. Going into Henry Cavill, my partner didn't really see it, but personally I think it looks like him. Then we've got Pedro Pascal. I love the look. I think you can kind of tell it was based on his look, but not him. They look a little bit creepy. I'm not sure what happened. Going into Elvis, I wanted to make the hair look a bit more interesting, so we've got bits of blue and brown in there. Then Bella Hadid. These water blooms were kind of by accident, but I actually love them. But of course, water blooms are not to everyone's taste. It does look messy, and I can understand why other people wouldn't like it, but I really don't mind. I do like it. It does look like her. Like, her face is so symmetrical. The cheekbones and the jawline is a little bit excessive, but it's not that far off. After that, I painted Chris Pine. This one is from the D&D movie. It was a bit of an odd angle, okay? Onto Dick Van Dyke. Honestly, I think I could have chosen a better reference photo. The one I picked was him a lot younger, and I'm not sure it really looked like him in the reference photo. I quite like all of the blue shadows. I don't think this one is too far off the reference photo. If you have watched the 100 Heads challenge, all of the references pop up next to each drawing. And I think this one looks like that. Ending with Lana Condor. The hair is a bit crazy, but we have some lovely blooms. I think I forgot to paint the earring. There's only so much you can do in like 1 or 2 layers. Then we've got day 4. I wrote it here because there was no space here. Didn't really think ahead. Starting with Brie Larson. I think I accidentally gave her a little bit of a glow up. I think this person looks really cool, but it doesn't look like her. This is alcohol markers on Temu paper. The different material papers that I pick up in the hauls. I'll pop the hauls playlist down below. Ringo Starr. This was an experience. I added the white gel pen here and I liked it, so I did add it back to this one afterwards. It was an experience because his face is nothing like the faces I draw. And then I did Madonna. I think the lips are slightly in the wrong place, but because it's alcohol markers, there's not a lot you can do. Once it's down, it's down. This style I've never done before. I've actually never done alcohol markers like this in a portrait, and I really love it. This one was looking more like Julia Roberts at the beginning, and then I went a little bit overboard. I tried too much. I should have stopped. Brad Pitt. Okay, I don't know what possessed me. I put 2 D's on Brad. I know how to spell Brad. I don't know about you, but whenever it comes to writing words in a sketchbook, it's like I forget how to spell anything. It's like my head knows that it's a really important moment and decides to mess it up. There's a very obvious problem with Brad here. This eye, it should be here. Technically, I could have added acrylics over the top, but we've got like 15 minutes per head. We don't have time for that. We just have to accept it and move on. This is Roy Orbison, who made the song Pretty Woman. Didn't realize they were so close together. And I have actually painted the Pretty Woman movie, painted a movie scene for the Sin series. So this is the second time doing Julia Roberts. The photo was black and white, so I just used grayscale. It's a bit matte. I actually prefer the ones on the paper. So I did a few more on the papers. At this point, I don't know what happened, okay? It was like 3 in the afternoon and I'd only just reached the halfway mark. Really quickly smashed these out. They don't really have necks. They do look kind of unfinished because they were. I can kind of see Jeremy Irons here. I don't really think it looks like him. And I don't think that looks like Lizzo, sadly. That was really unfortunate because I felt like it had a lot of promise. I like this. I really do like the portrait. It just doesn't look like her. But you know what? This entire page was done in like an hour, so. Now we're on to day 5. Oh, that's interesting. What is that? That is like the alcohol marker that's moved. Do you see that? That's really weird. My partner requested that I draw all 3 queens, the people who played the Queen in The Crown: Claire Foy, Olivia Colman, and Imelda Staunton. This one I actually did in less than 15 minutes. So for each head, I set a 15-minute timer on my phone. And this one I completed before the timer went off. I think that's the fastest one so far. Just a little bit smaller, so that probably contributed. And for this day, in case you can't tell, we're using rainbow color pencils. So then we've got these. I love all of the circles in this background. That was a random choice. I think it was inspired by the makeup here. The way the last page was made by the themed rainbow pencils, just like this one here. These 3 are the unthemed ones. For reference, it's this little skinny one compared to these jumbo ones that have less color in them. I prefer this one. I love all the texture in this spiky hair. I tried to actually shade on this one. This one, I love the hair. I did a little bit of lines to the hair to add dimension. I like that I was actually able to get the eyes and the eyelid quite a similar color. That's quite cool. Moving on, we've got Matt Damon. I don't know. Going into Chappelle Roan, I'm a huge fan. I'm seeing her in the summer and I'm super excited about that. But I wanted to pick a photo that had lots of makeup, since that is her most iconic look. This one had really cool makeup. I just don't think it looks like her, but that might be because of the makeup. And then I created these 2. Oh no, the graphite. Emilia Clarke. She was requested because of her eyebrows and crazy expressions. So obviously I had to pick this one. I know exactly what they mean because she has these kind of eyebrows that like bend, but she does look a bit sad. Then we have Dolly Parton. This one I did on a live stream. I knew I wanted to do one of the 100 heads in a live stream, and I did think about it being the very last one, but sadly it just didn't align with schedules, and it just so happened to be the halfway point, so it's number 50. It's an older photo of Dolly, and it was really lovely to have chats with you guys on the live stream, so thank you so much if you joined. That was a really nice end to day 5. Moving on to day 6. This here was the medium of choice. Sadly, it ended up on the floor and broke in 3. So I taped it back together, but it's a graphite stick. Starting off with David Bowie, this was the first one that I did well within the 15 minutes. It is quite stylized, and looking at it now, I do think the eyes are a little bit too far left. I think it's supposed to be a little bit more right. It's not quite central. Moving on to Freddie Mercury, really didn't have time to finalize much. The chin could have been a bit bigger. Tim Curry, I think it kind of looks like him. A little bit creepy, but he does have a unique look. And I think this might have been the fastest spread in the entire challenge. Really, I was just popping it down and smudging with my fingers, but then it all went horrifically wrong. In the next one, there is Priyanka Chopra. Tried to go a little bit for realism without thinking. I stylized it a bit with the eye size, and then the lips are kind of in the wrong place, and the eyebrows are kind of in the wrong place. And then I guess I tried to smudge it to add shading to make it look more human. I really lost lost all confidence at that point. Complete switch up. I wasn't really happy with the last 3. We're doing a different style. We're trying something new. This graphite stick I've only used once at this point on Christmas Day to create a super quick portrait because I got it for Christmas. So I really don't know what my style is with this medium. Dame Maggie Smith. There's a lovely photo of her younger. That's what I use as a reference. I really like this one. I think it's cute. Stopped smudging it with my finger. That's kind of what I did. Sometimes with portraits, it's hard to stop yourself from trying to make it look more real because I think there's something ingrained in all of us that is that art should kind of be realistic to be better. And that's really not true. It's something I've been fighting with for years. So I think drawing celebrities with graphite, there was something in me that was telling me it needed to be quite realistic. But honestly, I'm a million times happier with this one than anything previously. Continuing the style, I don't think the anatomy is great on that one. This is the hardest angle a face can be at, honestly. Jared Leto looks really cute here. Well, that one's bigger than that one. Wow, that happens a lot. And for the final 2, we've got Audrey Hepburn, a classic. I've never done her before. I just feel like she has a look that really lends itself to the art that I want to create. So this was a lot of fun. Then I did Willow Smith. The nose is wrong and the eyes are a little bit too close together. Willow has a really pretty unique look where her eyes are just a little bit further apart, and I completely forgot that when I was drawing her, so I think I went on autopilot. Oh, okay. We're on day 7. Tom Hanks and Hugh Jackman. We're using watercolor and color pencils. Oh, I forgot to say, 10th person every day is my own choice, and every other celebrity is chosen by you guys. I'm really happy with the challenge and how everything went and how the video was pieced together. It was a really difficult edit. If you haven't checked it out, please do. And please give this one a like if you're enjoying it so far. Oh, I think there's a little bit of graphite here. I did so many layers of fixative, and actually the watercolor has also smudged here onto there. This very quickly looked like Tom Hanks. Maybe he doesn't have a really iconic side profile, because even looking at it, I was like, is this him? Like, you don't see it very often, so that could have contributed. But yeah, it's not as good. These ones are really sad, okay? Because it kind of looks like Ariana Grande. Like, if there was time, using watercolor and color pencils and trying to work quickly, that's impossible. And it wasn't fun. This wasn't really fun. It was kind of stressful. I think introducing paint at all to this challenge was probably a bad move. Then we've got Sabrina Carpenter. If I could have just spent a little bit more time. Moving on, I got a ton of requests from one person. They're all kind of horror-based, which was quite interesting. I do need to watch more horrors myself. I've really not seen that many. He's very tanned. She's kind of cute, but doesn't really look like her. It was actually black and white, so I had to kind of guess the colors. Bill Paxton from the Titanic. It doesn't look like him. Then we've got Tom Waits and Amy Lou Wood. This one was black and white, but I really lent into it, and I think it was a lot of fun. I see it. I think it does look like her. There was a slight problem that I noticed. Can you see all of these black marks? If you have the Nuhuku markers by Ohuhu, just be very careful. Every other color is great, but the black has a lot of transfer, which you're gonna see coming up, sadly. I've contacted Ohuhu and let them know, and they've passed it on. So hopefully it won't be a big problem in future if they change it. For day 8, I used those acrylic markers. Had no clue how I was gonna use them, what kind of style to go for. I was kind of thinking that marker stand there, the one that we painted together with all of the block colors, that's the look we're going for. This one is very edgy. Unfortunately, I only had like 2 grays and a black. This one is actually of a painter. I did not expect someone to request a painter, older painter, where there's no photos of them and it's a painting of a painting. I didn't see that coming, but it was a lot of fun. This is something I do a lot when we draw in museums together. I have a playlist that has quite a few of those in that I'll pop down below if you want to check it out. I accentuated a lot of the features, bold blue shadows, because skin tones don't really exist in this set. I thought it would be fun to lean into it and just use the supplies that I've got. Sometimes when it comes to art, the best thing you can do is to just grab a medium and go. If you think about it, if you're trying to find the right color, that's what's going to hold back your creativity as well. Lent into the pink again here. And here I actually went into the dark blue, which I think is quite interesting. Though the next page gets a bit more crazy. I really pushed this art style and technique with this one. We've got lots of orange here, going into really dark pink in this one. Jennifer Lawrence is looking very orange. Kiki Palmer has very purple shadows. I love the color palette in this one because Reese Witherspoon has very light features. The light eyes, the light eyebrows, the light hair. The blue and pink combo with the yellow, I think it's really appealing. I like it. Octavia Spencer, I did the dark blue for shadows on this one and really had to work with what we had. It was a completely different art style. I'm really glad that I pushed myself and explored this because I like it. I want to paint more portraits like it. We're getting there. There's not too much more. Color pencils. I knew I was going to do color pencils quite early on, but because we had the graphite and the rainbow pencils, I was holding off to kind of space them out and have some paint in between, and they were disappointing. I think maybe the eyes are too small looking at it now. This eye is too big. Mariah Carey looks kind of drunk. I like the color though. I like the fact that it kind of goes across a bit like a rainbow. This is supposed to be Miley Cyrus. I chose it because of the interesting pose. Again, the top half is just a different size to the bottom half. Should have extended it a little bit. Brianna was really disappointing. It doesn't look like her. I was really looking forward to the color pencil page. I thought it would be quite simple, and then I got all of them wrong. Although the next one's a little bit better. We've got Prince. I love this pose. Demi Lovato, I can kind of see. Brought back some of those lines again. Kind of looks like a doll, but in a really cool way. Really does not look like Beyonce. Elton John kind of looks like Elton John though. Ooh, on to the final day. For this one, I really just wanted to have fun. We're using mild liners or the fake mild liner highlighters that I got from Shein and just picking random pens for the line work. I quite like the brown line work in combination with the pinks and yellows. Gwen Stefani did not work. This gel pen looks really weird. It looks like gooey. It is the fake jelly roll one that I picked up in the stationery pal haul recently, but it does look like goo. But it was really freeing to be able to experiment, and at this point I kind of felt like I kind of proved myself. I've done 9 days. I've used a load of mediums. I've made some pieces that do look like the celebrities. This is one of the new pens that I picked up. It was a lot of fun to use. Very chunky. Paul McCartney looks very cute, and the highlight is very bright. Then we've got Whoopi Goldberg. I really like this color palette. Continuing the chaos, we've got Stevie Nicks. I am a fan of the color palette. I just don't think it was executed very well. I was getting very tired at this point, okay? It was a really difficult challenge. It was really hard. 3 years since the last time, and I still don't think I was prepared. It is quite a nice color palette, actually. I can kind of see, I think maybe the beard should have been a bit bigger. He's kind of missing a little bit of head. Then we've got Celine Dion. I can kind of see the resemblance. We're ending on a crazy disappointing one. This is what I drew for Whitney Houston. I cannot draw people with their mouth open, but I tried and failed. So unfortunately, this is the last one. I don't think it's awful. I just don't think it looks like her. Did not do an end page because I just thought that ended nicely in the corner there. But that's it. This is everything that I drew for the 100 heads challenge. It's lovely to look back on, but it's so tiring at the time. So thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed seeing everything. Look after yourself, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye-bye.